Hi,
Hi,
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Jerry.
We're here in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. We're doing this little interview for Project Esperanza. I had an idea of doing sort of like a podcast or having different guests every week. So Jerry just came back from Haiti today, and I asked him if he wanted to be the first guest. So thank you, Jerry, for being willing to do that.
You're very welcome.
Anybody who's volunteered over the past few years has probably already knows Jerry. He's actually my husband's cousin. And in December, he went and visited Haiti, where he's from. He was in Port-au-Prince, and then you also went to Cap Haitian?
Yeah, this is where I was born, Cap Haitian.
Okay.
And then I went to Port-au-Prince to see my other families living in Port-au-Prince.
Okay. And when we were communicating while he was there, he was telling me that things were pretty rough in Port-au-Prince. He was telling me about kidnappings and things like that. And we actually had a volunteer that was thinking about going to Haiti, and we were asking him for advice about the situation there. And then recently I read in the news that there was an attempted coup. And there's some situation with the president prolonging his presidency and questions of democracy and all that. So I thought that this would be an interesting topic to talk about. Do you want to tell us about how things were when you in Port-au-Prince? Did you have a good time with your family?
Yes, actually I had a very good time with my family. It's been like almost a year since I saw them. So I took the opportunity to go in Port-au-Prince to see my aunts, my son, and then cousins and uncles. I mean, it was very, very good seeing my family. Other than that, Port-au-Prince is kind of messed up, I can say, in terms of security and infrastructure, I can say. But other than seeing my family, everything was cool.
Good. Okay. So what you had sent me was there was a lot of our students were circulating around a video and a really sad story about a girl who was kidnapped and then killed. I forget what her name was.
I also forgot her name, but there were a lot of kidnappings going on in Port-au-Prince.
So then you started telling me about other ones, yeah.
And then it happens that kidnapping is something, some people say it's related to the government. Actually, it is, because they don't want to do anything in terms of like stopping kidnapping and violence and killing in Haiti. They don't want to do anything about it. Just saying like, oh, I heard it from the news, but you actually the one like running the country, so you need to step it up to stop the violence and kidnappings and all that. But they don't want to do anything. They just sit there and then watching people dying every day, and then you see that person being kidnapped, and then they ask some type of like ransom, I can say, and then always about big money, like $1 million and then $2 million, and then they negotiate with you whether you can ask about 200,000, 300,000.
And it's always like in U.S.
Yeah, in U.S. Like if you cannot find that type of money, then that person will be ended up killed by these kidnappers.
Yeah.
I saw this girl. Her name was Bianca. She was kidnapped. They were asked about $1,500,000. They were negotiating, and then they ended up agreed on $150,000, which they paid, and then they released her.
But I wonder if that's the one that you sent me the picture to, because I don't think that I heard what happened. So she did get released?
Yeah, she did get released.
So her family had the
some people said she got paid, or some people said she was released for free. But there's two stories, but actually I don't know which one is true or not.
Yeah.
But she went on the radio talking about how did that happen.
Yeah.
And then she said that she was released for free.
Oh.
But it's really sad seeing young Haitians dying in hands of kidnappers. But before I even got here today, I saw that 5 years little girl.
I saw that too.
Yeah, she was kidnapped, and then they asked about $40,000, and then her mom was selling corn, grilled corn.
Yeah.
And then they ended up killing her, put her on a bridge. They put like a rope on her neck. Imagine you have your daughter like 5 years old.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything. Haitians are dying every day, and then you see this guy running the country by himself. He has justice. Yeah, I mean he has all the power in his hand, but he doesn't want to do anything. Just sit there and then threatening people. If you talk against them, and then you have a meeting like how to actually proceed, how to force them to leave. They arrest you, put you in jail for no good reason. But it goes beyond our capacity in terms of relationship with the other countries. Like when you have the UN, you have EOA, you have the US. The way they do politics, they keep, pushing us where we can't even defend ourselves. When it comes to their, how can I say, profit, they don't really care about if Haitians are dying every day, every second, every minute. They don't really care as long as they get their benefits, their profit. Haitian can die every day by thousand, by million. They don't really care about that. They only care about their profit.
You're talking about the UN?
Both UN, US, in terms of politics and
so are there like U.S. soldiers there now, or UN soldiers?
No,
the guards or whatever they're called.
Not really. The State Department keeps saying that they support. Our president, which his term has ended last February 7th.
Right, 2021, just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because there's a law like that says it doesn't matter how. When you do the election, if election is delayed, you ended up losing 1 year of your 5 years.
It's 5 years or 4 years?
5.
Oh, okay.
But if you had to do the election like 2015, for example, and then you ended up doing it in 2016, the constitution doesn't care about when you do it, but there's a law. If you do it, you delay the election, you will end up losing 1 year and your 5 years.
Now, so his election, the president that was before him?
Yeah, it was delayed.
It was delayed.
It doesn't matter, delayed.
Oh, so that's
not.
what the argument is about.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So he hasn't actually served for 5 years?
No, because he lost 1 year.
Oh, okay.
But he's trying to say that because of he swore 2015, 2017.
He was sworn in 2017?
Yeah, but it actually happened in 2016.
Okay.
He should have sworn in 2016, but they delayed the election.
Oh.
That's how he ended up losing 1 year.
Okay.
But he's saying that...
Was it Martelly that was before him?
Yeah.
So there was no president for a while there, or there was justice that was...
There's another guy called Privé. He was like that they say transition for 1 year. But
was he voted in, or was he a justice?
No, because Martelly did something. There was a rigged election.
Did Martelly resign? I thought that he resigned.
No, he ended up spending his 5 years, five terms, and then he was actually doing election, but there was like a conflict, like the election was rigged, and then people started protesting on the streets. Yeah. And then these guys showed up, and then it took like 1 year. And Jovenel, he took 1 year, 2016. Actually, he should have sworn in 2016, but ended up sworn in 2017. Okay. But now he's saying like the fact that he sworn in 2017, now his term will be ended in 2022.
Okay. So do you think that people that are so upset, because now I get it, it's kind of like a technicality type of thing. It wasn't really like a clear cut. I get what you're saying. So you think that he should step down?
Yeah, but
but there's not been another election held yet.
No, he doesn't follow the rule of law. He's doing by his own because he doesn't have the Senate, the deputies, just him.
They're not supporting him, is that what
No,
you're saying?
there's no deputy senator. There's only 10.
They aren't there?
No, he told them out.
Oh, and then they didn't replace them with anyone?
With the same law that actually made the election 2016. He used that law to throw like the 2/3 of the parliament. Okay. He used the same law, but him, he doesn't want to use it for himself. Yeah. So he actually can use it for somebody else, but him, no. Yeah. Actually, there's only 10 senators in Haiti. They cannot do anything because it has to be 1/3. It's only 30. but it's only 10. It has to be 15. But it's 10. They cannot do anything. They just sit there watching him throwing like judges
In jail.
in jail, and then police doing repression on people whenever they took the street to say like you need to step down. I mean, he doesn't want to hear anything about stepping down. He just want to do elections so that he can give Matali the presidency again.
Yeah.
And then when you have the UN, they trying to change our constitution.
So the UN is trying to change the constitution? I
Yeah.
heard that, I thought it was the president that wanted to change it.
Him and the UN, they all together, and then you have US, France, they are all fighting to change for their profit. So that's what is happening in Haiti right now.
So I'm doing a lesson with a Creole student who actually, her mom is from Haiti. And her uncle wrote a book about Papa Doc.
Yeah.
And so we're reading the book together, and we talk about the book. I just form some questions, and we talk about it in our sessions. And I'm actually using that for the 7th and 8th graders for the Creole part of their book.
Yeah.
And it's really teaching me a lot. But I forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So I used to always hear Haitians say things that like you said, France, the U.S., were somehow profiting off of Haiti, or had an interest, some sort of a financial interest in Haiti, and I never understood. Actually, at first, I didn't think it was true. I was like, oh, this is just gossip type of thing. But reading this book, it was written, so the man that wrote the book is from New Zealand, and he actually, on a sailing trip, he ended up really liking Haiti, and he stayed there. And so he's written several books. He wrote one about Trujillo as well.
Yeah.
But it's just a really interesting perspective, and he has been saying that, I guess, after... I can't remember which year he was specifically referring to, but he was talking about, in addition to the reparations that I guess Haiti had to pay France.
Yeah, that's Jean-Pierre Boyer, our president. He ended up paying France about 100,000 francs in gold. And then when you convert that money, it
was over a period of years,
like 21 billion and then a couple $1 million. That's what happened in 2004 when Jean-Baptiste asked for that money.
In 2004?
Yeah, they gave him a coup d'etat when he asked for this the money. They had to give us the money back.
He asked for the money back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And then
I was thinking that's what
they actually give him a coup and not like for example, when you have France and then US and then you have other countries, like they don't want to go in the same concept. Like whenever you have a president like who trying to help the people, they don't really fall for that. They don't. It's actually they want you to follow their rules.
Okay.
Not your rule. If you cannot follow their rules, you actually gonna take a coup. Like how they say the coup d'etat. Like Jean-Baptiste, like no matter how people can portray him, like he was bad, he was evil, something like that.
Everybody has a strong
exactly. But I've never seen any U.S. President supporting any president like from Haiti, like who preaching like or trying to support the mass. Like when I said mass, like the people. Yeah. They don't want that.
But Aristide was.
Yeah, he was for the mass.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple things that he was asked, like land, gold, our mines, like resources we have in Haiti. He doesn't want. I mean, he did not want to give those type of resources, so they ended up giving him a coup d'etat. Like the first one, he only spent 7 months. Yeah. So how you gonna judge someone in 7 months? Like when you have 5 years to spend. Yeah. So you give him a coup d'etat. Actually, the U.S. candidate was not Jean-Baptiste Aristide. It was a guy called La Fontaine. Oh. Yeah. Actually, the mass went out and then they vote Aristide. Yeah. Actually, he was a priest. But they vote him out, like they vote him in mass, so they could not bring something like to mix, to say, oh, this guy was elected fair and square. But they ended up accepted it, and then after 7 months, they give him a coup d'état, so they took him in exile where he spent almost 2 years, I guess. And then they brought him back, and then he ended up like winning the election in 2021. And then 2024, when he asked for the money from France. And
You
then,
mean 2004?
yeah, Jean-Bertrand Aristide.
Yeah.
And then he was told that we won't be able to give you that money, but what we can do, we can give you a hospital, airports, like ports, bridges, and the roads, and then electricity, stuff like that. And then he said no, but from this part I can blame him for that because he should have agreed on that, but he said no. But he had his reason, but which I don't know.
Yeah.
But he said no.
You would have rather seen the work done than
Yeah,
the money
exactly.
go.
But
Yeah.
in terms of not accepting it, I mean, you should have agreed on that, but he said no.
Yeah.
And then you have France and US put themselves together, and then they give him a coup. And then where you have the so-called bourgeois in Haiti.
So you think that he was basically sent into exile by French and the U.S. because he was asking for the reparations to be repaid?
Yeah, not only
Is that what people understand?
not only U.S. You have the so-called bourgeois in Haiti. Like it was 9 families, but now I can say 10 or 11 because of Matali. But now he used the money from Petro Caribbean and then for his friend and family. When you have those so-called bourgeois, they don't want to pay taxes. They want to go in the U.S. or other countries or even Dominican Republic to buy goods and then take them to Haiti for free. They don't want to pay in customs. So actually our government needs that money to build schools, to build hospitals and then markets, like for people can go and sell their goods.
Yeah.
So they said no, and then he said, how do you expect me to give you ports and then airports and then other customs when you guys have goods to make $1 million? How am I gonna find money to build those type of things?
Right.
And then they ended up like using other like universities like students. They paid them, and then they took the streets. They said
Who paid them?
like the bourgeois. They spend a lot of money.
Okay.
And then you have Matali was on the street that time. You have Bookman Experience. You have other artists. They all took the streets to say that Jean-Bertrand Aristide is bad. Even though he was doing something bad things, I'm not going to say he was doing good things. But everyone have both good and bad inside of them.
And nobody
but,
can do anything.
Yeah, but when you have these people and then they keep saying, oh, he's not good, and then you have U.S., Canada, France, they all stepped in then to push him to resign. He actually was being reluctant.
He didn't want to resign.
No, he didn't want to, but they forced him out. And then you have U.S. soldiers came and they went to his house. According to people, they even give him a couple slap, I heard. So they threw him on a private plane. They took him to South Africa, where he spent a couple of years over there. And then you have those people, Matali, and then Aped. They were talking about something called I forgot how to call this. I forgot the name, but it's been 17 years since they said that, but we've never seen it.
What? What is it?
Something called I forgot the name. I will remember later on, but they were saying that Haiti will be free once he leaves, but after all these years, Haiti is going backward.
They were saying Haiti will be free once Aristide leaves?
Yeah, like if Aristide leaves, Haiti will be free, will be better without him, but he actually left Haiti, but Haiti is worse from where he left off.
Yeah.
When you see this guy built more than 100 so-called like public school, what we call lycée in Haiti.
Yeah.
And then we have the other guy called René Préval. He ended up, he died, unfortunately.
Yeah.
These two, they built more than 200 public school.
Okay.
And then when you have these people who are talking about all this type of thing that he was doing. Actually, he was doing some kind of shady stuff like money or the people. Not actually him, people he put in place. They are doing all this other stuff. Yeah, no, Aristide and people like for minister, finance and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they did a lot of things wrong, but these people they push them out.
Yeah.
But now you have Martelly. He spent 5 years in Haiti as president. He actually did not do much. All he did was robbing the money. Petrocaribe money was there to build school, hospitals, roads, and then stuff like that, and like electricity. They spent it all. And then you have this guy we have in Palace now. He had contract that he didn't do none of these projects that they give him the money for.
Yeah.
But now he's our president. That's why he wants to change the constitution, where they can judge any president, whatever they did or spend all the money, you can charge them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what
they want to change in the constitution.
They want to change the constitution, but this one we have here, it doesn't accept referendum like what he want to do to change the constitution. He doesn't want. This constitution doesn't accept referendum.
No.
So he wants to do it, but it's against the law.
Okay.
But he wants to do it no matter what. When you have U.S., you have UN, you have Canada, keep supporting. That's why he's still in Haiti as a president. And then you have the State Department saying that his term will be ended in 2022, when they know exactly we have a constitution saying that you have this article said 124.2 saying that it doesn't matter if you delay election, but you will end up losing 1 year in your term.
Yeah.
That's what happened to him. But he knows exactly he should have stepping down, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah. So what I was going to say from the book that I'm reading, it's like in the 1930s, 1940s that it's talking about. It's basically talking about, what's Duvalier's first name? Is it?
François
Duvalier.
That's Papa Doc.
Yeah. His upbringing and how basically there was like a president overthrown every single year, and he was growing up in Port-au-Prince and seeing this. But it talks about the history and that ships from, it mentions the U.S., France, Germany, was it Italy? And there's one other that I'm forgetting. The U.K., that they were always there pushing for money too, as French would come after the reparations. It just mentioned that a few times, that they were always coming and trying to get money off of the situation too. So I just thought of that when you said profiting, because I don't fully understand how, if you see that there's still things like that going on. I don't really understand how, but I hear people mention it a lot. But it made me, you know how I said I doubted it when I would hear people just saying it at first. I doubted it, but reading more about it and more testimonies about it, it seems like it's true.
Yeah.
So
actually, the U.S. pressured us to pay first.
Back when they paid the reparations.
Yeah. After independence, they did not want to make trade with us.
Yeah.
They ended up recognize our independence after 60 years.
Yeah.
And then they invaded us in 1915, where they spent 19 years occupying Haiti. Where they gave us a broken. They left a broken country in terms of abusing and then stealing our reserve gold. They stole everything we had in Haiti. That money.
So there's a lot of natural resources in Haiti.
Yeah, a lot.
And so that's why people think that there's an interest there.
They're still interested in give me this, and then I will give you full support. If you say no, so be it. So I can support it. So that's why you see Martelly spent 5 years, and then this guy, the U.S., France, and then Canada, and then the UN, and then the OEA. They keep supporting him because they making a lot of money. They give them resources like gold, land. Then the same people, bourgeois, he give them land and then money so that they can build whatever they want to. Like me, I don't really care. Like for me, he can spend like his entire life in Haiti. I'm not going to even flinch because like.
Who are you talking about? Sorry.
I mean this guy in Jovenel Moïse.
Oh, okay. Hola.
Yeah, because he's not doing anything at all. People are saying, oh, if we elect this guy as president, we'll have this, we'll have that. Me, I was like, man, nah. If you fall for that, bro, that's on you, but me, no. Because I know exactly what's going to happen. So when I went home, I saw a couple of my friends, and then we were discussing about this guy when there was election in Haiti. And then they were like, oh, it is because you're not supporting him. I'm like, I know I'm not, but I'm giving you real facts, but you guys don't want to understand. You're just being like
You were just saying that the promises that he's making
yeah,
is not going to actually be
no.
Yeah.
You were like, oh man, you're being how can I say, like you're not like a PhD. I'm like, no, I'm not. But this guy is a clown. He's not going to do anything. But when I went home, I saw them. I was like, oh, I saw your guy is doing great. He was like, oh, I was like, your president was like, if you want me to be your friend, don't not talk about this guy with me, bro. I was like,
were they defending him?
Yeah, they were defending, but now he doesn't want to talk about this guy because he lied to them. I was like, why? I was like, man, he's a liar. I was like, I told you.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you were right. I was like, I was right.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to listen.
Yeah.
But now we all pay for the, like, he's a corrupt, and then, I mean, this guy is not good at all. That's
so what do you think that the solution is for right now? And do you think it's good to just take him out, even though there hasn't been an election, or that he remains president until there's an election, but and the election is organized?
Like, the best way to take him out, as people, we need to go in the street to protest. But when you have a police, like, giving us, like, gas, and then beat us, even throwing water, like, give you like even rubber bullets.
Yeah.
And even real bullets sometimes.
Oh.
When you protest. We cannot do anything when you have, as long as the U.S. State Department, and then you have Canada, France, UN, OAE, they're supporting him, he's going to stay here. But
so what if they organize an election and then
he cannot organize an
election
because this election is going to be rigged again.
Oh.
Because he created something called CAP, where to make election. He did it by his own, by his own people. He put people in place so that he can win.
Yeah.
And then when you have people calling out our ID to vote, it's not good, because the data they're gonna use, they're gonna give it to somebody else, like to Martelly. No matter how you vote for someone else, it's going to Martelly, because they have 3 million votes already registered for him. So no matter what you do, he's still gonna be elected president. But he has only.
Oh, you think he's gonna be re-elected?
Yeah, Martelly. That's why he's staying here.
Martelly wants to be president again?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He wants to be president. That's why this guy wants to stay here.
I thought that he resigned. I remember him crying on TV. And that gives him a speech that you've all talked bad about.
Yeah.
When he was resigning.
He did not, but actually spent his 5 years.
But do you remember what speech I'm talking about?
Yeah, he didn't want to leave that time because he wanted to spend like 3 or 4 months extra. Because he swore in May. He wanted to leave in May, but that was a special case when that happened. We actually have a law. You always sworn in 7th of February, and then
okay.
but he actually swore in May. He wanted to
stay until May.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. And then
I think I'm talking about a time where he maybe pretended like he was going to resign.
Yeah, I mean, they did not want to.
Yeah.
He had the full support of these people from the international. You have Canada, France. As long as you can give these people what they want, that's why I don't like the Clintons. I don't like them at all. At all. That's Hillary gave us in Mateli, because there was a woman called Maniga. I mean, she sat with her and then asking her, we want this, we want that. And then she said, no, I cannot give you, it's not my country. It's something that I'm going to spend 5 years, it's not mine, it's for Haitian. So, she ended up like sitting down with Mateli, and then she asked him, I want this, that, we want land and stuff. He was like, okay, let's go. So he gave her, the Clintons all they wanted. So he was elected president. And the same thing with these guys. And then you have the U.S. ambassador, Cecil, something like that, her name. Yeah, she keeps supporting him, and then keep saying stuff like they keep giving lobby to Washington so that you have Trump. He was supporting him, and then until now you have the Biden administration keep supporting him.
Jovenel Moïse?
Yeah, when you have the State Department saying that he's leaving 2022, that's a full support, because these people, they only see their profit in terms of gold, land, and other like resources they want. That's why he's still here, because these people give them what they want. If whenever you're flexible, they want to deal with you. If you're like rigid, they don't want you.
So do most people think what you're saying? Do they think that the person that's in power, it's a rigged election and it's influenced by foreign countries, and it's because the foreign countries' interest is that they're getting natural resources from Haiti?
Yeah, like
that's what the general understanding is.
Like those who know how politics work in Haiti, they know that. But the mass who doesn't know about the countries like U.S., Canada, and France, whenever you have a candidate like, they don't see U.S., Canada, France like giving you support, they are not going to vote for you, because they said, this guy's not good. Because you don't have support of U.S. and Canada, France. They are not going to vote for it because like, this guy's not good.
Yeah.
When actually that guy is good, this guy's not.
Yeah.
But they don't want to hear about U.S. not supporting a candidate that they don't want to hear anything about him, or all they want to hear a U.S. candidate.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what happened with Jovenel Moïse. When we have when that happened in 2016, that delayed the election as well. When you have USA, the U.S. embassy, should have gone in the south to give people water and then tents, other stuff like that. They gave them instead to Jovenel Moïse so that he can give to people like wood, like water, food. I was like, what? I was like, man, that's not good. Because of election, people will say, oh, that's our candidate. But actually, that was a setup. When you have these people keep influencing our election and then making people like not follow the rule of law. Like that's what U.S. been doing for centuries, 4 years in Haiti, in Canada, France. In terms of politics, I don't like the way they treat us as a country. They don't want the rule of law, even though they talk about it. It's a hypocrisy, I can say. They don't wanna. They don't want to hear about it.
So what do you think is the solution?
We cannot do anything with the so-called bourgeois because they are the one who have money, and then they keep like importing guns to give to people to use them whenever they want to do something. Those people who call themselves bourgeois, like me, for instance, if you give me $1 billion, for example, and then I decided to sell like rice or iron or cement, and then you have other people in Haiti who are selling these type of things. They will either call me and then telling me, don't you know there are other people selling rice, nails or roof or stuff like that. Now you want to sell them. You have two choices. Either you die or you leave. If you decided to stay, you will see people coming and then shooting at your house or at your car, or kidnapping your family. Or if you have your stuff, your goods at the custom, if they have their hands on the government, you will not be able to take them out of the custom because they will ask you a lot of money, more than you paid for. So you will like, man, there's no way. It's not even worth like wasting my money on something that I know I'm gonna make profit of. So you ended up like, okay, never mind. That's what they've been doing. They don't want like I can say competence, like to compete with other people.
Yeah.
They don't want that
Competition.
No, they don't like competition at all. They want themselves like me. I'm selling
Dominate
this.
the
Yeah,
market. Yeah.
Only 10 or 11 families wanting Haiti.
Yeah.
Like me, people of like as it called like a nigger. I can sell anything like ceramic, cement, rice, iron. I can't have market in Haiti.
So you're saying the bourgeois is more lighter skinned?
Like actually, they are not Haitian. They are people coming from Syria, Philippines, or the people from Southeast Asia.
Huh.
They are not Asian. Like you have this girl called Aped. When you say APAED, ID, that's not Asian. You have other guy called Boulos. You have Bijo, Boussan. These guys are not Haitian. You have Maxen, Bois. They are not Asian. There are people coming from other countries, poor, but they ended up like having a lot of money by doing best stuff in Haiti. If you want to compete with this guy, you need two things. You need a lot of money and guns too, because you will end up losing member of your family. If you're not brave enough, you will get hurt. Either you do business or you leave. That's what they've been doing for years in Haiti. And then you have US give them these people support. Actually, their business, they have like a lot of international insurances. They have for their like stores, stuff like that. Because we don't have anything. We don't have insurance in terms of like we have, but you pay a lot. We don't have electricity. We don't have anything at all. Like when people say we have this and that, those who knows exactly, we don't have anything at all. But this guy keeps saying that he's going to give like electricity like 24 hours. It's a lie, because you cannot give electricity with generator. So when you have problem with gas, like gasoline, or for example, you won't have electricity. But this guy keeps saying like buying generator from Caterpillar to give power. Whenever you have problem with gas, you don't have electricity. But he keeps saying we're going to have electricity 24 hours. But he has full support of US. But now I heard people from Europe, like Union, they don't. They say that he needs to leave. France, other countries, they say that he needs to leave, but it's the U.S. keep giving full support, and then the UN as well. As long as he has support from these people, he's staying here.
So in the Papa Doc book, it did say that there were these countries, the U.S. being one of them, that would come and pressure for money, along with the French pressuring for the reparations over a number of years. But then it said that when the U.S. occupied Haiti, that they did do a lot of advancement in agriculture.
Yeah, they did.
And public health.
They did.
And so it talked about that, and then it said once the U.S. left, I think it was President Roosevelt that came and kind of they did a ceremony of they were moving out, and that after they left, that people were like destroying the irrigation systems and things.
Yeah, there was a lot of conflict, I can say, when that happened. I mean, the song is very in 1915, from 1915 to 1934.
Okay, 1930s.
19 years. Like, the only thing that I can blame US for, I mean, we should have spoken English.
Oh.
Yeah, after 19 years that you spend in the country, like, like me, when they say like we speak both French and Creole, I'm like, man, it's a lie because we do not speak French.
Yeah.
Like, how can you speak French when you go to school to learn something you already spoken?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So when the U.S. occupied Haiti, were they running the schools?
Actually, they did not.
They just...
Yeah, they only like giving us a broken system. When you have two groups, like something called Kako and Pique,
yeah,
they were fighting.
I read about that.
Yeah, they were fighting, and then you have U.S. keep shooting and then fighting, beating, killing people at the same time. Actually, they built a lot of government building for us. But in terms of putting their hands on something, they did not. Actually, when they left, they gave us a broken system. That's what we've been paying years after years until now.
Okay.
They did not focus on one thing. They start on something, they left it, and then start something at the left, and then it's completely broken until now. That's why we've been suffering from this for years until now.
Do you ever think that if we're just talking about politics, we didn't really talk about NGOs or anything, but if people generally feel the same way that you do or think the same way that you do, that this foreign influence is rigging elections and it's pushing agendas and it has bad intentions basically. Do you ever think that, I'm not saying that it's a paranoia, but do you ever think that it could be partially a paranoia and that it could debilitate people, like having that mindset rather than thinking, all right, let's plan the next election, let's work really hard so that we can get as many people out to vote and make sure that everything's done really transparent and make everybody feel like there will be a fair election and get behind it, rather than maybe fighting to get them out of presidency right now, but maybe look forward to the next election and campaign and have more of a positive attitude? Do you think?
What you just said, it's going to be very, very difficult because we don't have a strong education system.
Yeah.
You need a strong, very strong education system so that we can have what you just said.
Yeah.
But when you have a broken system where you were given books from France and Canada,
yeah,
they're actually giving us their system, which we are not ready for.
Yeah.
And then you have books in French when we are not fully understand or speaking French.
Right.
Actually, our book should have been written in Creole.
Yeah.
Where
The Papa Duck book is in Creole.
yeah, where we can understand and then what the law says and then other stuff. And then when you have the so-called bourgeois, they still gonna influence. They are the people who have money. Whenever they give you money to buy this laptop, for instance, okay, now I'll give you money. They always expect something in return. They give you this laptop. You see how small it is. Now they want the table. They want this house. To be able to give them these two things, you either give them like full free at the custom and bring their goods for free.
Okay.
Now you will have problem because you won't have money.
Taxes.
Yeah, taxes to put in bank so that you can pay and then build schools and then do other things. That's what happened to this guy. He doesn't have money to pay those people who work for the government, because these people, they took over the port, the airport, then the custom, like we say Dahabong and Himani, and then Elias Pinas, so they can get in there like with their goods for free. Like he said, Haiti lost $500 million every year from Dahabong and Himani.
Oh.
I mean itself. He said that he's going to stop it. I was like, man, come on, man, you're not going to stop anything because there are other people who give you money.
Oh.
Like he said that he's going to.
So they're losing money from not charging people customs.
It's because like it's I'm not gonna say rape because they don't want to pay. They just go in there. If they have to pay 10, they paid 1 or 2 or 150.
Okay, it's like negotiable.
Yeah, not even negotiable. They don't want to pay at all.
Okay.
And then he said that he's going to invest in agriculture. I was like, man, this guy keep lying every day. And then my cousin and other friends, they was like, yeah, he's going to do it. I'm like, if he does, I would be very happy, but it's a lie. Like, oh, you Jay, you always talking negatively about it. I'm like, because I know he's not gonna do anything for us, man. It's a lie. When you have a country like 2020 itself, Haiti bought $240 million of rice from the U.S. itself.
Yeah.
How do you expect to invest money in rice? They're gonna fold their arms and watching you invest in agriculture. So why they destroyed it in the first place?
There's a lot I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what happened when I said like I don't like the Clintons. They actually destroy our rice, and to help his friend in Arkansas sell rice in Haiti. And then this guy said that he's gonna invest in. I was like, man, stop.
Every time you say this guy, you're talking about Jovenel Moise.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, man, stop. You're not gonna do anything. Actually, we had more than 2 million people like in anger in Haiti, no food. He was the one like calling for the U.S. to send us food. I mean rice. When I told my cousin, I was like, you see. It was like, man, you were right. I was like, oh, I mean, I know. I knew it, but you did not see what's going to happen. It was like, oh, because this guy is a good guy. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But now when you see this type of money, actually it is the third country who bought more rice in U.S. Like when you have $240 million of rice itself, how are you going to invest in rice? And then you have even here like Dominican Republic.
I just don't understand how the United States is able to, even with the shipping, sell the rice less expensive than rice that's grown in Haiti. And I was talking in a Facebook group with some people about that, and some people that like have NGOs that run schools and things, and they were talking about somebody was saying we should buy our rice in Haiti. Like if we're making school meals, we should buy rice in Haiti. And other people were saying, well, first of all, it's the U.S. rice is less expensive, and second of all, the Haitian rice they were talking about not being dried properly or something like that. It all seems like things that could be resolved, and yeah, of course it should be bought in.
Yeah, it can be resolved, but it's not something easy to be fixed.
Yeah.
This is what they've been doing. For instance, they, we produce rice in Haiti, but a little amount. It's it's a good, very, very expensive. Actually, our rice, they know it's very good rice. They like actually buying it or send the rice for them for free. And then they reduce their rice, and then they put our rice like very high so that I can buy it.
Who did that? The government?
The government, not even the people control the market.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense. Whoever's running the rice industry in Haiti, it wouldn't make sense for them to jack up the price.
Actually, actually them. So they bought it from the U.S. Like if you put it very high, you will not be able to sell it. Instead, the one that being produced in Haiti, they put it very high, and then the imported rice is right there. It's like this. Like when you have something called Zirishela in Haiti, it's very, 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 very expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive as hell. But you can't feed your family with this. This type of rice, but you can do it once if you're doing like some type of ceremony, like a party, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you have that type of money, especially to buy that rice.
Yeah.
But you ended up like buying that. The rice from US cheaper. But the one that we produce in Haiti, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
We have like my dad. He doesn't eat imported rice.
No.
No. Like my uncle as well, they don't eat imported rice because that it's not good.
They prefer the Haitian rice.
It is expensive, but these two they prefer to buying it instead of like buying imported rice.
Yeah.
But actually, it's something very, not only the U.S. even here, they play Dominican Republic. They play a major role in terms of. They make a lot of money with us.
The Dominican Republic.
Oh boy! When I was coming this morning, I saw a line. It's the market is Monday and Friday.
Yeah.
You can see a line.
The market at the border where.
Yeah. You can see.
Cross free, right?
Our gate open at 7, but their gate open at 8. It's different time.
Oh yeah. There's time.
You can see a line from here where we sit to Cerveceria. People waiting in line. Actually, they are putting money in Dominican's pocket.
Yeah.
So whenever we say we don't want to buy any goods from them, you see what they do here? They keep donations out. Like because you don't have documents, you shouldn't be here. Put them in buses,
and
throw them,
expensive.
put them and throw them out because we don't want to make deal. Exchange with them.
Yeah.
And instead of buying a lot of goods from them, they are mad. Actually, you see the treatment they give Haitians. Like me, for example. Instead of being here without my having visa and my passport, I would have staying home because I don't like coming here without documents.
Yeah.
Like while I was on the bus coming back here, I saw the guys like they have that little ID where they can use, but it seems like it was expired. Every single time they have to.
Oh, the regularization.
Yeah, they have to give money, or they were asked to step out to talk or give money, and then at one checkpoint they stayed because like they did not have the custom paper.
Okay.
Which I have, And then the driver and the other guy were talking, saying that you see these two guys, they don't bother these two because they have the documents. Me, I was on the bus like with my hands like this. I was thinking like, man, it's not good seeing like my other fellow Haitian like receiving this type of treatment.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, but we don't have like enough jobs like to support their family and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
And it's all linked to education too, like you were saying.
exactly,
You know what to do
Exactly.
because you're educated, but most people that come here aren't.
they're looking for opportunities in terms of like to have money.
Yeah, to survive.
Yeah, you see, the most hard work here, Dominican don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Most likely Haitian will do a lot of very hard jobs
Yeah.
because the Dominican like feeling type of lazy sometimes. They don't want to do like extra.
They don't have as much of a motivation because they don't have as much of a need
No.
to do it. Yeah, just like immigrants in the U.S.
Exactly.
Yeah, in other places.
It's a very complicated situation for us as a nation because when you don't have education to know your rights and then your constitution, like what it says, what you should do, what you should not be doing. It's very complicated when you know this type of guy is not going to lead you to anywhere, and then you keep supporting him. Like in Haiti, certain areas, if you go saying this guy is not good, you probably get beaten or even end up dying. Yeah, because they say that he's very good. Me, I don't argue with people I don't know. I make exchange with other people like in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
People that I know I can interact with.
Yeah.
Like while I was at the border to put stamps on my passport, I saw a bunch of people talking about this guy, how good he is. I was like, for you, because if you have a job and then you're making money, it's good for you, but for others, no.
Yeah.
Because when you have like 11 million people, almost 12 million Haitian living in, I'm not going to say all of them in poverty, but you have 99% of them living in poverty, like extreme poverty.
Yeah.
You can't support something like you do know it's not good.
Yeah.
And if you want to support a guy you do know who can help us, but me, we don't stand a chance when you have this guy and then we don't have education. It's gonna be very very hard for us, like to go forward as a nation.
Yeah.
Either we give them the country to do whatever they want, or I don't know, we all end up dying.
Give who the country?
I mean the international
Community?
the country to do whatever they want. That's why they keep asking for lands. You see a lot of Haitians leaving, because it's good for them, because like they will have lands. There were a lot of.
So you see that there's a lot of just international people not from Haiti, like you were saying. You said a lot of people from Asia. That own a lot of the land in the south, or
like those people called bourgeois. Those are the people. They're not Asian.
Yeah.
From their names you can see they're not Asian.
Yeah.
When you see.
I remember when we went to Port-au-Prince in supermarkets and stuff, and they were foreign owned.
Yeah. Like if people of color like me want to have a market, I need to have a lot of guns. Because they're gonna block me, like at the custom, both lanes or ports or airports. They're gonna block my goods from coming in, because I'm it's like, who is this guy? A nigger is gonna have a market. You can't have that. But it's going to be very very difficult to move forward. You see, these people, juvenile is good for them, because they are not going to say, stop, you're abusing the people, but for them it's good because, like Aped, he just received more than 800 acres of land.
Who did?
Aped,
Who's
the, a guy who has money.
Okay.
He is part of the bourgeois as well. But
Yeah.
the same guy called Aped, he took the street 2004.
2004.
Yeah, to push Haiti out of the country.
Okay.
There are something called nouveau contrat social. That being said,
New
Haiti
social
will,
contract.
yeah, Haiti will be saved from this guy. Will have a lot of good stuff.
Okay.
But what we had 2004 to 2017, it's like we went from this, like from there to there. Actually, we did not make any progress at all.
Okay.
What we had,
And last year was really bad. 2019 was really bad.
exactly, because
Schools couldn't even open.
you see this guy, that's what they want now.
Chaos.
Jovenel give him like 800 acres of land plus $18 million to build something called zone franche, to build his own thing. This type of land he gave them, this
Like
is
a place for trade, like a factory.
factory
Like the Zona Franca here.
to do like whatever he wants. But this land is good for agriculture, to build like
Cacao,
food, like
cafe,
beans and
'cause it
rice.
should have really good.
Very
resources for
very strong. But
Yeah.
he gave this guy this land to plant coca. You know, when you plant coca after you done with the land, is not good at all.
I don't know what that is, coca.
I heard coca. I don't know if it's to make Coca-Cola or something like that. But to plant coca.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, to plant coca. But after that, this land is not going on good.
Oh, okay, so they are going to use it for agriculture?
What you can do is only build houses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he took this land from people's hand to give to this guy.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what they love, when a government like give them free land
Yeah.
and money to build whatever they want to. But when they ask you, "Oh, give me this laptop," no, I cannot give it. It's not mine. Actually, I'm using it to do something. I cannot give it to. Oh, okay. They want to do whatever they want, like give money to people to take the street to say, "Oh, this guy's not good," with board in their hand saying like, "I bought this guy, I bought that guy." That's what they've been doing.
So what if, I know when I first said, what if there was like a collective positive attitude about organizing a fair election, and then whoever gets elected supporting them, and not maybe trying to, whoever opposes then try to be unified in that way? And you said that the problem with that is that a lot of the population, the majority of the population, hasn't received education. So it would be hard to unify in that way. Is that what you're saying?
It's going to be very difficult to make
Or
them
to organize
Yeah,
a fair election?
I mean, with this insecurity we have in Haiti, we cannot have a free, fair election in Haiti. So many guns in the street.
Yeah.
So you will be like afraid of going to vote.
Yeah. And you think that's why with the kidnappings, you say people are getting away with it. You think it's because
Exactly.
there's a fear of going against anybody. Like they feel just a complete lack of security, so it lets evil reign, basically.
Yeah, when you see, there were two guys. Jovenel gave a job, but they were being punished by the State Department.
Yeah.
They cannot go in the U.S. You have I forgot their name. One called Giplan, the other guy called I forgot his name, but he was wanted, but he ended they caught him. He had two license plate in his car. One like SE, which is like when you work for the government, and then you have an OF like official immatriculation. He had three, but he was the one that participated in the massacre in La Saline. With that guy called Gipla.
Okay.
He was arrested, but they released him.
Oh, wow.
Because he's a Jovenel guy.
Oh.
So how do
So
you
that's
expect?
a corruption. Yeah.
How do you expect people to go to trust this guy gonna do election for?
Okay.
No, there's no way people going. You will have people only going to vote for PHTK. Their parties like for Mateli.
Yeah.
And then when you have only their 10 allies who went to meeting to have a meeting with them,
Yeah.
but the opposition did not go to the conference like to give like a booklet for the new constitution.
Yeah.
We don't want that
Yeah.
because the one that we have, it doesn't accept referendum.
Okay.
It's against the law,
Yeah.
but he wants to do it no matter what.
Okay.
So we cannot have a free and fair election with this guy in place.
Okay.
Even if we have someone else, it's gonna be very difficult because the U.S. UN still gonna like give support to Mateli.
Yeah.
Like if this guy called Moise Jean Charles, they portray him as it's like evil
Okay.
because he's not flexible. He doesn't want the way that the bourgeois.
Yeah.
He's very smart. They say that he's not educated because he doesn't speak French properly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Whenever you don't speak French in Haiti, they say that this guy's not educated.
It's a measure of your intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rather than your measure of linguistic, yeah.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
You see people talking bad about him because he's against them. He's saying that real facts because they are the one like putting their feet on our neck
Uh huh.
because US doesn't want this guy. France doesn't want, Canada doesn't want it, and then the Bush doesn't want them. Even though he is elected president, he's gonna take a coup d'état as well because he's not gonna follow their orders.
Yeah.
Because when you have 12 million people suffering in poverty, you guys have a lot of money, and then you want people to pay tax for you.
Yeah.
When you have businesses, you have big houses, and then you have these people using our money to buy houses in Canada and the US. Recently, this guy called he's in the Senate, but PHTK Senate. He recently bought a house in Canada in Montreal, then for 4.5 million cash.
Oh.
Plus, he had another house like for $500,000. Now he bought a new one for $4.5 million cash.
Uh huh.
Actually, the money coming from Haiti. So with these people, we do not expect anything from them. Even though we have Mateli, we have Julien, Haiti is still going. You see other countries going this direction. Haiti is going. They're going through progress like this, but us, we're going this way.
Backwards.
When you see images from Haiti in the 60s, 40s, and 50s, and now, you will ask yourself how Haiti got this bad.
Yeah.
If you see Port-au-Prince in the 50 and now in 2017, you will say, man, that's going backwards.
Yeah.
Actually, here in the Dominican Republic, they originated to have the same model of Malecon in Santo Domingo. When you see their Malecon and then with ours, it's
Is there a Malecon? Malecon is boardwalk for anybody.
Yeah, they call it Malecon, but in Haiti they call it
I was just saying for anybody watching that doesn't know what a Malecon is. It's like the one that we have in Puerto Plata. It's like you have a park and then you have. But in Port-au-Prince?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then it's very sad. It's very sad to see the difference. It's very sad to see the difference. Mud, trashes.
Yeah.
No electricity. No roads. No hospital. No nothing at all. And then that's why they put Mateli in place to use the money that we had from the Petro-Caribe. I was watching this little clip Actually, I posted it on my Facebook wall.
Okay.
If I select it, I will tag you on it to see
Okay.
why they put this guy in place
Oh,
to
okay.
run as a president,
Yeah.
to actually destroy all the money.
Mm.
He eventually did. Now we have to pay Venezuela that money back.
Yeah.
That money was there to build school and then road, hospital. They ended up wasting all the money.
So I kind of feel depressed listening to all of this. But at the same time, it kind of reaffirms what I've always believed in, which is grassroots and also grassroots education.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just kind of shows that when the top-down approach, when the government's failing, and I think that's why like the Haitian people are so resilient and
Exactly.
such entrepreneurs anyways, is because they always have to do for themselves. They can't rely on the government at all or on much leadership at all.
Plus,
So I think the only approach is the grassroots, bottom up. People starting kind of like the schools like in Grisongard that don't have any government funding, and even
at all. At all. We have so many NGOs in Haiti. They call us a country of NGOs.
yeah,
So we have more than 100 NGOs running Haiti.
yeah,
They are a problem. They are because when the international banks like borrow us money to do something, actually the money goes to them,
okay,
not to actually the government.
okay.
So they ended up like
Yeah, pocket.
using the money to rent cars,
Yeah,
hotels. This is where the money actually went back to US or to France or to Canada. They actually sent people to use that money. When BID give us money, it's not directly to the government, to certain type of people to do this and do that, and then these people they keep using it by renting cars, paying more than $200 a
not
day.
taking care of the basic
No,
needs, but
they
taking care,
actually
or
putting
spending on
money
other
in
things.
their pockets.
So do you see any NGOs in Port-au-Prince or in Grisongard or anywhere that you feel like, oh, they're doing a good job, I like what they're doing?
They give you the sense of they are actually doing something good, which is not. When you can see what they should have done, instead of like wasting money, wasting time doing all this, it's a very simple thing. Like where I live in Grisongard, you know, when you cross the river, you go somewhere called Bourgeois,
Okay.
where we used to plant like corn, beans, rice. Because we don't have like a system that so that they can use to give water.
Irrigation.
Yeah. And then you see the land people like start build houses in these lanes, which is sad. But they give these people money, and then they give them like buying cars, and then keep going back and forth, wasting money.
Yeah.
They actually not doing anything.
Oh, okay.
When they
But what
cannot,
about like education-based projects? Any schools? Any good schools? In
No,
or something?
no. Now they're trying to like make you feel like cacao is like no, we don't have cacao anymore because they killed them.
Oh,
Cafe as well. We don't have
who killed them?
I mean,
You mean in Grisongard or just in
like Haiti in general. Like for example, if you have a group of people coming in saying that you have this type of yam, for example, which is a good one, but you need to have the plate to still like use. I mean, having the same type of yam.
Yeah.
But they came in. They said we want all of this. Like not even leaving you the chance to have I can say the seed to actually use it again. They want it all. When the people said no, they ended up like spraying something, kill everything. That happened in
Fertilizer?
Yeah, they kill them all.
Oh.
The same thing with our pigs, rice, something called wheat, something called pitimi, corn, oranges, grapes. We don't have these. You can only find grapes and then oranges in the mountains, very deep, 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 deep in the mountain. Like me, when I was a little guy, young boy in Haiti, like in summertime or December, you always see a yard full of oranges and then grapes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put in bag to go sell them in Port-au-Prince. We don't have these anymore.
Huh.
You see people using horses to, to carry oranges and then grapes. Grapefruits, I can say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't have shadek.
Shadek.
No, we don't.
I've never seen it in the Dominican Republic.
You can find.
But I hear people talk about it. I don't even know how to say it in Spanish, but shadek.
You can find it. Oh man, that thing is so good.
With sugar, right?
Oh man. But actually, it's very acidic. When you put water in it, it's acidic.
Yeah.
You only like cut the head and then you. Sting it and then you put sugar.
Yeah.
If it's not sweet enough, and then you eat it like with.
So when you were saying grape, you meant grapefruit, because I was like.
Yeah, grapefruit. Grapefruit.
It's so hard to find a grapefruit.
Yeah, actually, we don't have. We do, but very, very, very far in the mountains, you can find grapefruit. Back in the days when I was a young boy and with my cousins, we have our knives and then to cut and then eat oranges as well. Now we don't find. You see the trees very old and then they're dying.
Yeah.
And then now our coconuts is taking a very big hit because they are very, very small.
Yeah.
Dying. It's the same thing. Sometimes they pass with plane, they drop stuff to kill them. This is how they kill our rice in Haiti.
So you think it's like a biological attack?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is what they've been using.
Oh.
You can like something called malanga. When you boil it, like it's like purple. When actually boiled to eat. We don't have this anymore.
Wow.
You can use the leaf to make like something called legume in Haiti.
Yeah.
We don't have this anymore.
And so deforestation isn't really a problem in the north. You're talking about the north.
The north. It's like
it's a problem in the south, but in the north it's not.
Everywhere.
So you don't think it's deforestation that?
Deforestation as well, but there's not enough fruit or plants.
You don't think it's from cutting a lot of the trees for charcoal?
Like when you see these, it plays a big role, but naturally these plants they cut like something called
because with the ecosystem it could be all connected.
Yeah. They cut like something called lamb.
Yeah.
They cut
they
like
call it breadfruit, I guess.
Breadfruit. They cut the mango trees.
People making charcoal.
Yeah, to make wood, something called planche.
Okay.
They use that a lot, and then they cut a lot of trees. But now they stop. Now they cut something called shed. I don't know how to call that in English. They call shed.
I don't know that.
They use these type of trees a lot these days. But mangoes, we have a lot of mangoes. They don't cut mangoes anymore. They cut like something called firewood to make charcoal.
Okay.
They are cutting out there like.
Oh man, that's loud.
It's actually loud.
Let's stop it and then we'll start it back up.